The fruiting speed of stellar plants, although much slower than those of the floating land plants, isn't to the extent of taking over 20,000 years. As for the maturation time, Song Kai is not yet clear, but what can be surely deduced is that it's highly unlikely to be less than the time required for fruiting. The urgency wasn't there, as the Secret Realm Accelerator in the Cultivation Secret Realm doesn't require any cost. Once this acceleration is over, and after waiting a year, he could conduct the second one. This also means that no matter how long the fruiting speed and maturity cycle of the Silver Apple Mother Tree are, he could reliably acquire the special resource, Silver Apples, in the future. Of course, at present, only the lowest 4th rank Silver Apples, which can promote blue components to purple ones, were obtainable. After all, the Mother Tree had fallen to the 4th rank level. Silver Apples of the 5th or 6th rank were out of the question for now. Unless in the future, he could enhance the rank of the Cultivation Secret Realm and recover the Silver Apple Mother Tree to the 5th or even 6th rank. Withdrawing his spiritual focus, Song Kai waited another day until the 20 divine tempering fruits were completely ripe. He immediately harvested them all, allowing them to begin the next cycle of growth. Inside the Kang Chong, carefully storing the 20 divine tempering fruits, Song Kai didn't rush to deliver these to the Pulse and instead contemplated whether they could be used at the Pusuo Heritage Tower later on. With a flash of light in his hand, 2 silver apples were taken out. First, he took the larger silver apple, for which he had already determined the use. As his palm slowly approached the light energy aggregation engine component, the mechanical voice of the ship's onboard intelligence immediately came through. Confirm use of light energy aggregation engine as the target? Confirmed. A rich orange glow sparkled inside the Kang Chong, but it didn't last long, soon dimming and being replaced by a more dazzling red glow. When Song Chi's gaze returned to the engine component, it had indeed been upgraded from orange glory quality to red epic quality. Light energy aggregation engine LV49 quality. Red feature. Energy supply efficiency increased by 168%. Feature 2. Light energy aggregation feature 3. Can merge one specific feature from similar components. Consumption. 800 per second, spectral energy points, energy supply. 8040 per second, spectral energy points. Post-overload buffer. 30 minutes energy pool. 350,000. Can store 350,000 spectral energy points. Up rank requirement. 40 threads of floating land origin. 4th rank. 2 threads of floating land origin. 5th rank. 220,000 spectral energy points. 40 law stones. 120 titanium crystals. 40 glitter stone crystals. Note. Has reached the structural enhancement limit of the ship's body, cannot be strengthened further. Light energy aggregation. Consumes 50,000 spectral energy points to aggregate the energy of the consumed spectral energy points and put the engine into an ultra-high load operating state, improving energy supply efficiency by 500%, thrust by 500%, lasting for 1 hour with a 15-hour buffer. His gaze converged on the energy supply section. Seeing the figure exceed 8,000 points, Song Kai completely relaxed. Before this, the figure was just a little over 5,000 points. And don't forget that this calculation doesn't even include the third feature, which allows him to freely combine it with other similar engine components. Is the silver apple's value high merely because it can enhance the quality of a designated component? Of course not. Another highly coveted reason for its pursuit is that the captain can actively combine the newly added feature. Song Kai had learned this point from the detailed information of the Silver Apple Mother Tree provided by his family early on, so he was well prepared. The ancestral aperture at his forehead slowly opened, and several rays of light surged from the ancestral torch. Among the 3 rays of light, 2 were blue and 1 was purple, corresponding to 2 blue engines and 1 purple engine. Knowing the features of the Silver Apple, Song Kai had already begun purchasing engines with top-rank features. These 3 components were the results of that period. The features of the 2 blue engine components were thruster power doubled and engine energy supply efficiency doubled, respectively. As for the purple engine, its feature was engine energy supply efficiency and thrust permanently increased by 60%. After some deliberation over these options, Song Kai chose the engine energy supply efficiency doubled feature. Although thrust was important too, the perennial shortcoming of the Kang Chong had been the issue of energy supply efficiency. With the phantom thruster component providing a powerful boost to thrust, it was currently quite effective. Once he merged the blue engine component into the light energy aggregation engine, the next second saw the engine's energy supply skyrocketing from 8,000 points directly to 16,000 points, which was truly staggering. The only regret was that the feature added by the Silver Apple could only merge the characteristics of similar components that had not been enhanced. The added features also had no growth prospects. Thus, only constant or proportionally doubled features could be merged. Otherwise, Song Kai really wanted to merge the feature of an orange engine that had been enhanced to the 4th or even 5th rank directly. It was precisely because of this that the Silver Apple was only a scarce resource rather than a strategic level resource. Having upgraded the light energy aggregation engine, Song Chi's gaze shifted to the multitude of purple components on the Kang Chong. He still had one Silver Apple in hand, a lower grade one that could only elevate purple components to orange. He was still somewhat undecided about the use of this Silver Apple. Of course, the main targets for enhancement had already been largely identified. Brainwave Remote Control System, Phantom Thruster, Plasma Guardian, and Void Escape Orb. Even with the choice narrowed down to 4, Song Kai still found it difficult to decide. The Brainwave Remote Control System needs no further explanation. To date, it's been the purple component he relies on the most, the one that has repeatedly kept him out of danger while reaping generous rewards. The Phantom Thruster is a key component for advancing the agility of the Kang Chong. Should it be upgraded to orange quality, it would surely enhance the ship's agility substantially. Plasma Guardian is an artifact for personal survival and also the reason Song Kai feels confident every time he leaves the Kang Chong. As for the Void Escape Orb, this component is a god-level artifact on the Kang Chong for both pursuit and survival. If it could be enhanced to orange quality, it would also be excellent. After much deliberation, Song Kai suddenly remembered the colossal Tri-Eye race flagship. More than a year had passed, leaving him with very little time to continue exploration. With this in mind, Song Kai extracted another blue quality component from the ancestral torch. Control Spirit Ring LV0 quality. Blue feature. 2 additional remote control quantities. Looking at the feature of this top-rank blue remote control component, although it didn't explicitly state that the number of brainwave imprints would increase by 2, the additional +2 for control quantity assured Song Kai that once this feature was integrated into the Brainwave Remote Control System component, the end result would inevitably be an additional 2 brainwave imprints. Thus, counting the original 1, Song Kai would be able to remotely control 3 soldier figurines simultaneously. The significance of this feature, naturally, is that it allows him to divide and explore 3 different routes at the same time, greatly improving the exploration efficiency of the Tri-Eye race flagship. With that thought, Song Chi's flickering eyes became resolute, and he directly used a slightly lesser Silver Apple on the Brainwave Remote Control System component. Of course, before merging, Song Kai first strengthened the purple component to LV40. After all, if it were upgraded to orange quality, further enhancement would require adherence to orange component standards, and preemptively strengthening it to 4th rank could save a considerable amount of resources. Soon, the component completely transformed from purple to orange quality, also integrating the blue quality Control Spirit Ring component. Brainwave Remote Control System LV40 quality, orange. Consumption upon activation. 300 per second, spectral energy points. Feature. When the owner of the warship is marked with a brainwave beacon, the torch warship can be remotely controlled in reverse. Feature 2. 2 additional remote control quantities. Effect. Upon activating the component, a brainwave beacon can be condensed. Creatures or mechanical entities marked with the brainwave beacon may be remotely controlled. Control distance: 10 light-years. Duration: 36 hours. Buffer: 2 hours. Up rank requirement: 4 strands of 4th rank floating land origin, 90,000 spectral energy points, 50 tons of soul crystal, 62 titanium crystals, 3 law stones. After reviewing the attributes, Song Kai nodded in satisfaction. A control distance of 10 light-years was indeed a terrifying figure, and in the future, if Song Kai truly wished to remain hidden, it would be very difficult for anyone to discover his existence as a behind-the-scenes controller. Shaking his head, he then began the test that he cared most about. The doors of the Kang Chong opened, and 3 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines flew out one after another. One raced along the central street towards the deepest part of the ruins market, another turned and exited through the entrance of the marketplace, and the third soared into the air, speeding above the marketplace. Soon, laughter echoed from inside the Kang Chong. Just as I thought, the number of brainwave imprints increased directly from 1 to 3. In the future, I will be able to control actions or combat in 3 different directions, greatly increasing the exploration speed for the colossal Tri-Eye race flagship. Now, with his spiritual force reaching the state of 7-fold mind utilization, controlling 3 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines to act separately was not a difficult task for him. Once his emotions stabilized, Song Kai withdrew his attention from the orange quality, brainwave remote control system, component and focused on other components of the Kang Chong. With the light energy aggregation engine, upgraded to red quality and an energy supply efficiency of 16,000 points per second, the Kang Chong would no longer be limited by energy supply efficiency for a considerable time. Considering he also had some resources at hand, Song Kai naturally would not be stingy. He wanted to further enhance several components on the warship. However, this time, he did not start with the silver or red components but opted for both the Phantom Thruster and Void Escape Orb. These 2 components may play a significant role in the subsequent challenges of the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Phantom Thruster, LV-30 LV-40, Void Escape Orb, LV-30 LV-40. With both components enhanced to 4th rank, the effect of the Phantom Thruster component improved to Warship Thrust increased by 200%, Warship Speed increased by 200%. As for its Phantom Trace feature, it also saw a tremendous enhancement. Phantom Trace consumes 10,000 spectral energy points. After 5s of charging, the thruster enters an overloaded state, and for 15s, the warship will make a rapid burst in the designated direction at 2000% speed, generating 10 accompanying illusions identical to the warship to confound enemy units during the burst. After the Void Escape Orb component was enhanced to the 4th rank, it provided Kang Chong with 400 additional points of spatial resistance, and the single escape distance reached 10 light seconds. Following these 2, Song Kai turned his attention to the Immortal Realm 5 Elements Celestial Energy Shield and Neutron Star Core Armor components. However, after some thought, the Neutron Star Core Armor component was abandoned, as its Neutron Star Core Pulse feature would only change with a great rank enhancement, and there was not much increase in the mere hull armor. Song Kai was more willing to enhance the Immortal Realm 5 Elements Celestial Energy Shield component. In the end, he upgraded this silver, legendary quality energy shield from LV-42 to LV-45. Although he wanted to continue enhancing, he could not due to the lack of 4th rank floating land origin and law stones, so he had to stop there. Of course, the Life System Medical Repair Pod component was also enhanced by him early on to LV-40, and its repair effect was extremely remarkable. Overall, after this round of quality promotion and enhancement, Kang Chong's combat power had greatly increased. P.S. Overall warship attributes are not listed. For treasure sons who want to see the current configuration and enhancement level of Kang Chong, you can go see the only pinned post in the book Fan Circle, which is updated by treasures in real time, so I won't use it to pad out this chapter. In the following days, Song Kai didn't continue to practice the guidance technique. Currently facing a bottleneck at a great rank and with the effects of the all attributes cultivation room significantly weakened, it was no longer something that could be easily broken through with persistent hard work. Moreover, since the trip to the star domain where the Pusuo Heritage Tower was located was in the next few days, Song Kai now wanted to adjust his state as much as possible. Time passed quickly, and a week soon went by. That day, Song Kai, who was sitting cross-legged in the courtyard, suddenly opened his eyes, snapped out of his visualization state, and the quantum communication bracelet on his left wrist beeped urgently. Looking down, the message was sent from the Council of Elders, and it was incredibly brief. Come to the Divine Mountain immediately. After bidding farewell to his grandfather, grandmother, parents, and a group of elders who had already been waiting at Green Moon Manor, Kang Chong shot up into the sky and disappeared into the depths of the clouds in an instant. Outside the manor, the gazes of the onlookers lingered in the air for a long time. At that moment, Zhao Hongshui murmured softly, regardless of whether he succeeds or not, little Kai will always be the first unicorn son of our 10th direct vein. These words struck right at the heart of Song Chao, and his smile was unstoppable. Song Mingsong glanced around, thinking of chastising, but considering his unicorn son was credited to his third son, he ultimately forcefully held back. However, he didn't quite agree with his daughter-in-law Zhao Hongshui's words. No, little Kai must seize that ranking position this time. Such bold words caused a slight shock in those nearby, but Song Mingsong didn't offer any further explanation. He couldn't possibly reveal that Song Chi's flagship contained components of silver, legendary quality, could he? At Dragon Spine's Sacred Mountain, White Jade Square, Song Kai, Song Zi, and Song Gang arrived one after another. Song Kai did not know the other two individuals, but he was somewhat surprised at heart. He had originally thought the Pusuo Heritage Tower path might be within the Divine Mountain, for it sounded quite mysterious and significant, and now it seemed that this was not the case. He didn't have to ponder long before three familiar Zhulu warships appeared above the escort ships. It was the Kang Mang Wuji, belonging to the family head Song Xuanchong. The three of them instantly realized, knowing that once again it was the family head who would lead them to the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Do not resist. The path node cast by the Pusuo Heritage Tower is not low grade, and it's not located on the Dragon Spine continent. A faint voice emanated from the Kang Mang Wuji, high above, followed by several integrated beams of light that emerged and spread towards the warship where Song Kai and the other two were. After firmly integrating the three escort warships, the Kang Mang Wuji transmitted intense spatial fluctuations, evidently as Song Xuanchong activated the spatial jump device. A sense of dizziness struck them, but it was far less than the disorientation suffered from being cast into the alien star domain or from traveling on transfer warships before. Based on this, Song Kai and the others surmised that the distance of the Kang Mang Wuji's jump wasn't as far as they'd imagined. It certainly couldn't be in the vicinity of Dragonspine continent, but it was highly probable that they hadn't left the bounds of Dingai star domain. Achieving this conclusion didn't surprise the three of them, as the path connections of the Pusuo Heritage Tower were significant and of great importance to the family. It would be odd if it wasn't included within the family's domain. Since the jump distance wasn't great, and given that all three of Song Chi's party practiced the guidance technique at second rank, they quickly recovered. Their gaze swept over the projection screen and radar map in confusion. No matter how they looked at it, this was a perfectly normal star domain, save for the eternal silence of outer space. The only thing that might catch their attention was the small fragment belt not far ahead. However, according to the warship radar display, there was nothing abnormal about this small fragment belt, which spread just tens of thousands of kilometers, and furthermore, it seemed that it had already been mined out by the family's advanced teams. In their confusion, Song Xuanchang's voice rang out on the warship. Follow me. They had just completed the jump, and the four warships had yet to link up with the magnetic wave communication when Song Xuanchang's voice easily entered the three members' warship, employing the family's quantum communication bracelet. Although the specifications of the Song family's exclusive quantum communication bracelets were consistent, the authorities varied greatly based on the identity of the owner. As the Song family head and contemporary Earl of Dingai, Song Xuanchang's privileges were only slightly lower than a few of the ancient clan elders, so of course he could freely send messages to Song Kai and the others, even with the obstruction of a torch warship's hull. With the Kang Mang Wuji in front, followed by the 3 escort warships, the 4 warships headed towards the small fragment belt. So the problem is indeed within this small fragment belt. Compared to the other 2, Song Kai had actually anticipated this. Although the Silver 3 generation superwave magical energy detection radar was indeed impressive and had been enhanced to 4th rank, the Dingai Song family had nearly 3,000 years of heritage. If they truly wanted to conceal something important, it would never be something that an orange-quality radar could detect, otherwise it would be a disgrace to the name of a great family. Song Kai even guessed that even an enhancement to 5th rank level orange radar would most likely still detect nothing abnormal. Reality proved his thoughts correct. When the 4 warships arrived at the center area of this small fragment belt, they soon saw the true nature within the fragment belt. The dense small fragments completely vanished, revealing before them a vacuum area with a diameter of 10,000 meters. 8 somewhat familiar mechanical devices stood at the 8 corners of this 10,000-meter vacuum star domain, constructing this advanced version of the combined illusion realm of 10,000 meters scale. Below the 8 mechanical devices, specialized continuous operation micro-nuclear fusion energy supply platforms were assembled, enabling the 8 illusion realm constructing mechanical devices to run as if a day were 1,000 years. Song Kai was not unfamiliar with such mechanical devices. His family had similarly constructed such illusion realms a light year away from the Bloodblade Star Thieves base, but only the most basic illusion realm construction devices were used at that time, requiring just 4 illusion realm constructors. But here and now, there were 8, which meant that the illusion realm enveloped a larger range and had a stronger effect. Such devices were said to be the advanced combined illusion realm construction devices, also products of one of the 4 great super empires, the Kai Yu Divine Dynasty. At that moment, Song Zi's voice came through the warship group chat. This is the advanced version combined illusion realm. It's said that setting up one requires hundreds to thousands of threads of 4th rank floating land origin, frighteningly expensive. Song Kai also clicked his tongue in amazement. He had guessed it would be costly, but he hadn't realized it would be quite so extravagant, a near 4-digit number of 4th rank floating land origins, tisk tisk. Not dwelling too long on this, Song Chi's attention was quickly drawn to a torch warship, also exceeding 3,000 meters in length, which was suspended to the side. Song Zi proved to be quite informative, as without Song Kai having to ask, he went on to explain. This is clan elder Song Changlin of the 2nd direct lineage, even older than the family leader. Over there, Song Xuanchang and Song Changlin had a brief conversation before they once again beckoned the 3 of them. The destination of the 4 warships lay within the combined illusion realm, closer to an eternal black vortex channel constructed by limitless space laws. The channel was more than a few thousand meters in diameter and emitted an intensely strong spatial fluctuation. Song Kai compared it to the spatial wormholes of the ancient Starry Sky battlefield, then startled to find its entrapped spatial power was much stronger than that of the wormholes. At that moment, the family head Song Xuanchang's voice once again resonated within the 3 members' warship. This is the pathway that the family controls, leading to the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Remember, from now on, do not wander too far from the Kang Mang Wuji. That Pusuo Heritage Tower has existed for who knows how many eons. A great sage from the Northern Tower civilization adept at divination once revealed that this tower is even older than the shattered Starry Sea era, perhaps even a constant ancient relic that has spanned an entire universe. Nobody knows just how many paths it has cast out to date. In any case, the Starry Sea races converging around it are innumerable, including those that possess bizarre and unpredictable methods, leaving one ever vigilant. If we're too far from the Kang Mang Wuji, I might not even be able to ensure your safety should any mishap occur." Listening to these solemn words, Song Kai and his two companions felt a chill in their hearts, and their initial anticipation gradually turned to caution. As the head of the Dingai Song family, Song Kai and the two were well aware that Song Xuanchang was no ordinary fourth-ranked contending warship captain. As the former leading figure of their generation, he had always been the most gifted individual in the Song family for nearly 1,000 years. If even he was exercising such caution, one could only imagine the star domain where the Pusuo Heritage Tower resided was far from a place of order, but more likely a domain of lawlessness. Kang Mang Wuji repeated its old trick, and the fusion beam once again tightly bound the four warships together, followed by the familiar sensations of weightlessness and dizziness. Inside the Kongchong main control room, Song Kai was almost about to vomit the bile from his stomach. The aftereffects of this space transport were definitely the most severe he had ever experienced, far worse than any previous exploration of the alien star domain. It wasn't just him, though he was still the one who performed best. Song Zi and Song Gang were vomiting so violently that they nearly lost consciousness. Although both of their guidance techniques were at second rank, they were generally only around levels 24 to 25. Compared to Song Kai, who had used firethorn fruits, deep-sea clam pearls, body tempering paste, and various other auxiliary cultivation resources to raise his guidance technique to level 29, their physical constitutions were much inferior. Ignoring the two of them, once he had recovered, his gaze was immediately drawn to a distant object. It was a tower of infinite height, seemingly piercing through the entire Star River. In front of this ancient tower, stars, floating land, and cosmic plants were merely accessories. Gold, wood, water, fire, earth, time, space, thunder, ice. The power of laws flowed abundantly over the body of this great tower, like leaves surrounding flowers, densely packed and endless. With just one glance, Song Kai could assert that this tower was indeed that Pusuo Heritage Tower. A heritage tower that has persisted through the entire shattered Starry Sea era and the multiverse era. Truly astounding. Compared to that ancient flagship of the Tri-Eyed royal family, this heritage tower traversing the Star River was evidently much more shocking. At least, the terrifying power of laws surrounding it far surpassed that of the ancient flagship. Beyond that, even from an endless distance, Song Kai could still make out several terrifying creatures surrounding the heritage tower. His eyes intently focused on one of the creatures, a giant with a body reaching 1,000,000 meters in height. Song Chi's eyes widened in shock. Just then, the recuperated Song Zi spoke. "If I'm not mistaken, that should be a member of the Starry Sea Giant clan, and not just any member but one at the 6th rank. Although it's not a Titan giant, it is undoubtedly one of the Starry Sea Fateful clans." Song Kai nodded slightly. He recognized the creature, and he also knew that this kind of creature was listed in the 4th tier at the peak of the Song family's genetic bloodline charts, on the same level as the broodmothers. Within the Song family, these creatures had another name: Children of the Starry Sea. The name was meant to indicate the favored ones of the shattered Starry Sea, beings that could easily step into high-level ranks. Although they didn't possess the dominators of strength, peak innate gift like the Titan giants and were not considered one of the peak Starry Sea races, they were definitely not creatures any advanced civilization would want to provoke lightly. Once all three had fully recovered, Song Xuanchang's grave tone rang out once again. "Stay close to me, and don't concern yourself with the other alien races, not even those that belong to the Starry Sea human race. Avoid contact with them." After finishing speaking, fearing that Song Kai and the other two still weren't taking it seriously, Song Xuanchang continued. "Any creature or clan capable of occupying a heritage path is bound to be formidable. Over a decade ago, during the struggle for the 6th sequence within our family, a clan member quietly disappeared in this star domain, and it wasn't long before their Torchlife nameplate also shattered." Ensuring that all three had taken his words to heart, the Kang Mang Wuji continued its slow flight towards the Pusuo Heritage Tower, escorted by 3 escort ships. Midway through, a faintly colored halo emanated from the Kangmang Wuji's hull, enveloping the 3 escort ships behind it. Song Kai and the other 2 were completely oblivious to this. If one were to examine the 4 warships from the outside, they would find that no matter the angle, the warships couldn't be seen clearly. They appeared to be somewhere between half illusionary and half real, preventing all external creatures from making accurate judgments. Of course, Song Xuanchang had his reasons for this. He was no weakling. The combat power of the Kangmang Wuji was also astonishing. Even against peak 5th rank creatures, he had the power to fight. But this was the domain of the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Although 7th rank dominators were not allowed to enter, there was no shortage of 6th, even half-step 7th rank creatures. As a 4th rank torch warship captain, he couldn't act recklessly in this domain. With that in mind, it made sense to maintain a sufficient air of mystery, which would also reduce the scrutiny of other alien races. The 4 torch warships sped along, soon nearing the endlessly extending Heritage Tower and likewise disappearing into the myriad of alien species around the tower's outer ring. Through the ship's projection display, Song Kai saw various alien species, some of which were extremely familiar to him. These included mermaids, the feathered race, and even the Black Skies race, among others. What surprised Song Kai most was seeing other torch ship captains, and their ranks were not low. Among them were even battleships of 10-kilometer class. But on second thought, it seemed perfectly normal. After all, torch human civilization was not some frail civilization. Occupying the entire conglomerate of torch human race river domains, it was not surprising for powers like the Dingai Song family, who had discovered the pathway to the Pusuo Heritage Tower, to exist. Song Xuanchang, however, couldn't care less about these torch warships of the same torch human civilization. He made no move to approach them for greetings or to band together. He simply continued piloting the Kangmang Wuji, bringing Song Kai and the other 2 aboard his flagship ever closer to the Heritage Tower. Soon, the 4 warships drew near the pillar of the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Just as Song Kai was curious about Song Xuanchang's next move, suddenly, 3 clusters of thick orange light radiated from inside the Kangmang Wuji. Are these 3 orange oddities? What is the Patriarch planning to do? The same question arose in all 3 of their minds, and as if he knew what they were thinking, Song Xuanchang's indifferent voice sounded beside their ears. To challenge the Pusuo Heritage Tower, one must pay a corresponding price. The minimum is an orange starry sea oddity. If it's a 4th rank stellar sea creature wishing to challenge, then a red curio is needed, and for a 6th rank, I'm afraid a silver miraculous item would be required. Upon hearing this, Song Kai and the others realized the stakes, but almost immediately another thought surfaced. What if the challenge failed? Once again, it was Song Xuanchang who spoke. In challenging this Pusuo Heritage Tower, as long as you meet the tower's own standards, you'll receive an orange oddity reward. And if you exceed those standards, it's even possible to gain rewards of the red or even silver legendary oddities. Don't dwell on it too much. According to our Song family's past experiences with the challenges, most clan members just break even, and some can't even meet the standards of the Heritage Tower. This final sequence battle will depend on the specific results of your 3 challenges. The higher the value of the reward obtained, the higher your place in the 7th sequence of our family this generation. As the 3 orange oddities were submerged into the body of the Heritage Tower, this eternal tower quickly responded. A gentle hum emanated from the tower, and suddenly 3 black marks shot out from within the ancient high tower. Under Song Xuanchang's control, these 3 marks submerged one after another into the torch warships of Song Kai and his 2 companions. Thereafter, a voice that seemed to come from the ancient past rang in the ears of Song Kai in the Kongchong main control room. Registration successful, the next challenge will start in 1 month. Song Xuanchang's brow slightly raised aboard the Kangmang Wuji. 1 month later, good, he also spoke again, his voice ringing out across the 3 escort ships. Remember not to stray more than 5,000 kilometers from Kang Mang Wuji this month. Hearing this, Song Kai and the other two felt a surge of excitement. 5,000 kilometers, this range would allow access to some alien trading zones nearby. Thus, they could attempt to trade with those alien species using the resources they had prepared. After exchanging greetings, the three each controlled their warships toward the various alien trading areas. Song Kai was much more cautious in his approach. Kong Chong did not make any move from beginning to end, closely hugging his family head's Kang Mang Wuji. At the same time, the hatch slowly opened, and 3 Void Assassin clan soldier figurines swept out, scattering towards the surrounding alien trading zones under the control of 3 brainwave imprints. The moment the Void Assassin clan soldier figurines burst out of the warship, Song Kai only heard a series of explosive sounds from their puppet bodies. Such strong life pressure. His heart chilled, but he soon understood the reason. There were many alien species of 4th and 5th rank around them, and even 6th rank creatures were mixed in among them. With so many high-rank life forms congregating, even though they weren't actively emitting their internal energy fluctuations, the pressure they brought was beyond imagination. Fortunately, though the oppressive feeling was strong, it wasn't as intense as inside the Tri-Eye Race Supergiant flagship, allowing the 3 Void Assassin clan soldier figurines to act normally. The 3 figurines split into 3 directions, centering around the Kang Mang Wuji Zhulu warship, continually inspecting one trading zone after another within a radius of 5,000 kilometers. Hours passed, and one of the Void Assassin clan soldier figurines paused in its steps, then unobtrusively approached a kilometer-long tiger-like alien species with wings on its back nearby. This species was recorded in the Torch human civilization as well, known as the winged tiger, a floating land exotic beast with a genetic bloodline not weak, ranking in the 3rd tier of the Song family's genetic bloodline chart. However, what Song Kai was concerned about wasn't the winged tiger itself, but an object floating around it, emitting a blue glow. It was a blue-quality strange object that could be converted into a ship-borne componenta, an especially rare find among special components. Winged Launch Pad LV0 quality. Blue feature. Additional +1 to the number of launch pads. Consumption. 500. Usage. Spectral energy points. Charge. 60 seconds. Buffer. 24 hours. Effect. Transports objects or beings that meet the volume and weight criteria to specified coordinates. Current maximum launch distance. 0.1 light-year. Up rank requirement. 5 strands of floating land origin, 0 rank, 500 spectral energy points. It was indeed a blue-quality launch component, precisely the kind that Song Kai was in urgent need of. After the Brainwave remote control system component was upgraded to orange, it could emit 3 brainwave imprints at a time, but relying solely on the fixed-point launch pad currently aboard the Kongchong, it wouldn't be possible to maximize the use of these 3 brainwave imprints. If he could add this top-quality blue launch component, which came with the feature of an additional +1 launch pad, it would be equivalent to having 2 launch pads. Coupled with the fixed-point launch pad, Kongchong would effectively have 3 launch platforms, which would perfectly maximize the use of the Brainwave remote control system component. Regarding any potential conflict between the fixed-point launch pad and this winged launch pad, it's necessary to clarify a point. A Torch warship's special components can have 2 of the same kind equipped. It's just like Kongchong currently hosting both the Fire Peony soldier figurine tree and the Void Assassin clan soldier figure tree, both belonging to the soldier figurine category. However, only 2 of the same kind of component can be equipped at most. If Song Kai wanted to equip another soldier figurine component, he would have to replace one of the 2, either the Fire Peony soldier figurine tree or the Void Assassin clan soldier figurine tree, otherwise, it would not be possible to equip it. Based on this limitation, Kongchong could currently equip this winged launch pad component. On the wrist of the Void Assassin clan soldier figurine, a projection screen appeared from a regular communication bracelet, displaying a message in the universal language of the Starry Sea. "What's the price for this blue oddity?" The 4 rank level aura emitted by this winged tiger indicated that it didn't particularly care about a blue quality oddity. What it really wanted to trade were the few purple and orange oddities in front of it. Thus, the trade went very smoothly. Song Kai only spent 1/3 rank void crystal and 10 second rank void crystals to successfully acquire the oddity. Upon acquisition, the soldier figurine immediately sent the object back to Kongchang, and Song Kai directly equipped it onto the warship, enhancing it to level 39. In the following month, Song Kai did nothing else but continually controlled the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines to roam the nearby trading zones using the brainwave imprints. Among them, he certainly made several purchases, but for the current state of Kongchang, the effects were not significant, leaving Song Kai quite disappointed. There are still quite a few 3rd rank void crystals left in his hands that had not been traded away, including 2 4th rank void crystals. On that day, the 25th, since the 4 of them had arrived at the star domain where the Pusuo Heritage Tower was located, just as Song Kai thought he wouldn't gain anything more, the arrival of a brand new alien race captured his curious gaze. Is this the soul cleansing tribe? Looking at the alien, who emitted a strong 4th rank aura and intense 4th rank soul power fluctuations, Song Chi's mind quickly conjured up all the information about this creature. There was also an introduction to this type of creature in the comprehensive collection of biological races in the Torch human civilization. Named the Soul Cleansing Tribe, it was an extremely rare race in the shattered starry sea that pursued the path of the divine soul. Normally, such a rare creature should be obscure, but the Soul Cleansing Tribe was quite the opposite. They had a significant reputation within the territory of the Torch human civilization. The reason was nothing else but the fact that this creature could produce a special resource called Soul Cleansing Liquid, during the process of continuously enhancing its own divine soul. Soul Cleansing Liquid, a kind of high-level divine soul resource, could be absorbed by Torch ship captains without any loss. It was a resource that highly suited the Torch ship captains. Scanning his eyes around, Song Kai frowned. He saw the night port in front of this Soul Cleansing Tribe member, meaning Song Gang must have discovered the Soul Cleansing Tribe earlier but did not notify the others, making him feel somewhat uncomfortable. One should know that in the previous 20-some days, the several of them had been sharing what they had. At this moment, Song Gang's behavior clearly showed he wasn't in a hurry to inform him and Song Zi. Although Song Kai had some thoughts about this, he didn't intend to voice them openly. He had long noticed Song Gang's selfish character. It was like this on the evil Buddha continent and seemed no different now. When it came to such a person, Song Chi's attitude was always to be respectful but distant, and not to become closely involved. Turning on his quantum communication bracelet, he called out to Song Zi, and sure enough, upon hearing the words, Soul Cleansing Tribe, and Soul Cleansing Liquid, Song Zi's side was quite surprised. After thinking it over, Song Kai still decided to send a message to the family head as well. A 4th rank member of the Soul Cleansing Tribe would surely not have a small amount of soul cleansing liquid, and the 3 of them definitely couldn't handle it alone. And if there were 4th rank or higher soul cleansing liquid, it was possible that Song Xuanchang would be interested as well. Soon, Song Xuanchang's reply came through, noted. But just as Song Kai thought that was that, his quantum communication bracelet received another message. The Soul Cleansing Tribe has an almost fanatic pursuit of divine soul and high-level brainwave starry sea oddities. If you don't want them to set their sights on your high-order brainwave manipulation component, it's best not to let the puppet soldier approach. The Void Assassin Clan soldier figurine was just about to merge into the void when this reminder made it pause completely. Following this, Song Kai decided against using the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurine and instead summoned the 4th rank Void Demon, allowing it to approach with a large amount of void crystals and divine tempering fruit. The order given was naturally to trade for the soul cleansing liquid in the hands of the Soul Cleansing Tribe member. The higher the quality, the better. As it neared the 4th rank Soul Cleansing Tribe member, the Void Demon immediately relayed to Song Kai the various grades of soul cleansing liquid that the other party had offered using mind sound transmission. There were all ranks from 1 to 4. Behind this fourth-rank soul-cleansing tribe member seemed to be a sizable force of the soul-cleansing tribe. Apart from fourth rank, there was a substantial amount of third-rank soul-cleansing liquid, as well as not a small amount of first and second-rank soul-cleansing liquid on offer. Song Kai had no interest in second-rank and below soul-cleansing liquids. His spiritual force had already reached the stage of sevenfold mind utilization. Considering the Starry Sea divine soul power, this was already a third-rank medium-level divine soul force, so ordinary second-rank soul-cleansing liquid was basically of no use to him. His goal was more focused on third-rank soul-cleansing liquid and even fourth-rank level soul-cleansing liquid. In the distance, Song Gang, who had arrived first, had already reached a trade agreement with the fourth-rank soul-cleansing tribe member. He traded 10 third-rank void crystals for 1 drop of third-rank soul-cleansing liquid, obtaining 5 drops of third-rank soul-cleansing liquid from the fourth-rank soul-cleansing tribe member. Yet, he was still dissatisfied, so he took out 2 fourth-rank void crystals and 5 strands of fifth-rank floating land origin, hoping to exchange them for 1 drop of fourth-rank soul-cleansing liquid. He was quite confident at first, but the fourth-rank soul-cleansing tribe member did not hesitate to refuse. They had only 5 drops of fourth-rank soul-cleansing liquid, and although fourth-rank void crystal and fifth-rank floating land origin were precious, they were not its top choices. Prioritize exchanging for other high-level divine soul resources? Hearing the mind sound transmission from the void demon, Song Chi's eyes lit up. Wasn't this a perfect opportunity to make use of those 20 divine tempering fruits? Thinking this, the void demon quickly called out a price at his signal. What do you think of this resource? As he spoke, he directly took out a divine tempering fruit. After scanning the fruit, the fourth-rank soul-cleansing tribe member's eyes shimmered slightly. The divine tempering fruit was indeed one of the high-level divine soul resources, blooming in 2,000 years, fruiting in another 2,000, and maturing in a further 2,000. It took a total of 6,000 years to yield 20 fruits. Although they were on the lower end of high-level resources, consuming several at a time would still have substantial effects. After a moment's hesitation, it named its price to the void demon. 30 divine tempering fruits in exchange for 1 drop of fourth-rank soul-cleansing liquid. As for the price, of course, Song Kai would not agree. He kept negotiating through mind-sound transmission with the void demon. Several minutes later, both parties finally settled on the final price. 15 divine tempering fruits plus 1 fourth-rank void crystal, in exchange for 1 drop of fourth-rank soul-cleansing liquid. Just as Song Kai completed the trade, Song Gang and Song Zi, who both knew that the fourth-rank void demon was a creature enslaved by Song Kai, sent him messages simultaneously. As for what exactly, naturally, they were asking if Song Kai still had any divine tempering fruits. Song Kai was at a loss for how to reply for a moment. Although he favored Song Zi more, he did not want to offend Song Gang outright. People like him, if blatantly shown preference for Song Zi, would certainly harbor resentment, even act against him, which Song Kai naturally wanted to avoid. So in the end, he said straightforwardly, I still have 5 divine tempering fruits left, you two figure out the distribution yourselves. Having said that, the void demon brought out the remaining 5 divine tempering fruits. As for how the two would distribute them afterward, that was none of his concern. The void demon then exchanged 100 third-rank void crystals for 10 drops of third-rank soul-cleansing liquid from the fourth-rank soul-cleansing tribe member, ensuring that Song Kai alone had more than enough for his use. After completing the trade, the resources he had prepared were almost depleted, but Song Kai was quite satisfied. With these 10 drops of third-rank soul-cleansing liquid and 1 drop of fourth-rank soul-cleansing liquid, he could ensure the further enhancement of his spiritual force. Thus, once his guidance technique advanced to 3rd rank and he went through the 3rd life sublimation, targeting for the divine consciousness state spirit wouldn't be difficult. The 5 divine tempering fruits were eventually returned to Song Zi. The 4th rank soul-cleansing tribe member did not accept the trade for more fruits, even after the two added a lot of 4th rank void crystals and high-level floating continent origin. Consequently, Song Kai could guess the reason. Such high-level divine soul resources actually only have significant effects the first few times they're used, with the performance diminishing on subsequent uses. Having traded for 15 divine tempering fruits already, the fourth-rank soul-cleansing tribe member naturally had no interest in continuing the deal. However, unexpectedly, just before it left for other areas to trade, the Kang Mang Wuji, which had been inactive until then, made a move. It wasn't clear what was discussed, but in the end, the remaining 4 drops of 4th-rank soul-cleansing liquid from the 4th-rank soul-cleansing tribe were acquired by the family head, Song Xuanchang. Several days passed, and a familiar ancient tone suddenly rang out from the 3 escort ships. The next round of Heritage Tower challenges is about to begin, please be prepared. For a moment, all the creatures that had signed up received these words. Before they could think twice, a beam of light had already surged forth from the Pusuo Heritage Tower, and pierced the endless star river in the sky at an indescribable speed. Immediately afterward, Song Kai saw numerous creatures of various shapes materialize out of thin air around the Heritage Tower. These creatures were not teleported from other paths, but were challengers from the previous round of the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Glancing around, the number of challengers was not small, no less than 5 figures. Song Kai was astonished, now finally understanding what the head of the Song family meant when he said, innumerable. After all, this also meant that there were over 5 figures worth of orange starry sea oddities. At the same time, alien species nearby were softly discussing the matter. Their hushed voices quickly spread to the ears of the many alien races around. Less than 20,000, remember last time upon entering, it was close to 40,000, heh. Only a few months and 2,000 pieces of at least orange-quality starry sea oddities have been thrown in. Upon hearing this, Song Kai fell silent. Compared to the Zutian Ruins market that he had always taken pride in, this Pusuo Heritage Tower was truly astonishing. Whether it be the speed of amassing wealth or its eminent status, neither could compare to the Zutian Ruins market, which was not even worth a hair of it. While Song Kai was obsessing over at least 20,000 orange oddities, other alien species around him were doing the same. To the side, a subtle halo emanated from the Kang Mang Wuji, waking Song Kai abruptly as if he had realized something. He gasped for air, his heart full of dread. If he was not mistaken, he had just fallen into some kind of odd stratagem. Not even the Tai soul-suppressing steel had sensed it. Had it not been for Song Xuanchang making a move, who knows what might have followed. In the warship's group chat, Song Gang and Song Zi looked similarly pale, evidently having fallen into the same unknown bizarre method as before. As they were reeling from the shock, Song Xuanchang's gentle voice resounded across the 3 escort ships. That was a 5th-rank level devil race creature. This kind of creature is adept at manipulating the hearts of others. Though all alien races surrounding this Pusuo Heritage Tower tacitly avoid direct conflict, if one's spiritual mind is bewitched, such acts are not considered initiating fights. As he spoke, Song Xuanchang paused for a moment, and after a few seconds, he continued. As for those tens of thousands of at least orange-quality starry sea oddities, while it is a fact, it isn't as exaggerated as it seems. Not to mention that this Pusuo Heritage Tower only opens for 2 rounds every 10 years. Just among those who have successfully cleared the challenge, there must be at least dozens who have obtained leapfrog rewards. Each of these rewards is worth more than 10 orange oddities, so when you really calculate it, it's actually alright. Song Xuanchang's tone then shifted. Of course, over the endless years, the accumulation of high-rank oddities within this Pusuo Heritage Tower is certainly unimaginable. Whether or not you can obtain enough rewards depends on your own abilities. This explanation resolved all the doubts in the hearts of the 3, just as new changes emerged in the sky above the Pusuo Heritage Tower, in front of them, instantly capturing the attention of all alien species nearby. Silver Legendary Oddity 2, Red Epic Relic 248, Orange Glory Treasures 14450. The 3 lines of text cascading down were of an ancient script, so archaic that few on site could recognize them. However, just as with the law scripts Song Kai condensed every time in the Zutian ruins market, even though they were clearly written in Chinese characters, all alien races present could still clearly understand their meaning. 2 silver miraculous items, hiss. When they saw the total rewards for this round of challenges, most alien races revealed an expression of surprise and doubt. Even those present who were of 6th rank, or even half-step 7th rank, felt the same. Silver legendary oddities were truly the kind of treasures that 7th rank dominators could fully utilize. They were also the objects that all beings below 7th rank coveted greatly. But soon, realization dawned on the crowd, because among the first round of challengers that came out, there indeed were 2 6th rank beings. For such beings, a single challenge of this Pusuo Heritage Tower required a silver legendary oddity as payment. Which meant that these 2 were actually just meeting the standard expectations for the 6th rank challenge, nothing too extraordinary. Of course, these 2 were most likely to have exchanged their silver legendary oddity for another item that better suited them, and their combat power would see a decent increase in the future. For creatures confident enough, this was a common maneuver, to use unsuitable oddities in hand as challenge tokens and, after clearing the challenge, to choose rewards that better suited themselves. In the past, the Song family had also employed this tactic. However, it's not risk-free. No creature could be sure they would definitely succeed in the challenges of the Pusuo Heritage Tower. After all, to date, no one has been able to summarize a set of standards for clearing the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Although nearly 20,000 creatures of various races came out this time, less than 15,000 had actually received corresponding rewards. The remaining nearly 5,000 who did not meet the standards either lacked the strength to continue the challenge or had to prematurely end it reluctantly. For those creatures, their orange oddities used as tokens were naturally beyond retrieval, but at least they saved their lives. So remember, just do your best. Not reaching the standard to clear the level is not a disgrace. In the past, there were not a few in the Song family who couldn't meet the standard. On the other hand, if you overestimate your abilities and forcibly challenge it, not to mention losing your stake, all the strange objects on your warship will have to be buried in this Pusuo Heritage Tower. That would truly be a waste. Within the 3 escort ships, Song Xuanchang's words of caution kept resounding. Song Kai and the other 2 naturally understood this principle and would never do such a foolish thing. At their level, coupled with their status, as long as they were alive, they would have plenty of chances to advance to 4th rank in the future. When that time came, not only could they live for 2,000 years, but they could also become a clan elder in the family, stepping into the upper echelon of the family hierarchy, with even further advancement being possible. Fully aware of this, why would the 3 of them risk their lives over petty pride? After confirming that the 3 wouldn't make such low-level mistakes, Song Xuanchang's tone suddenly shifted. However, if you do have the strength, there's no need to hold back. Try to achieve the best result possible. All creatures only have one chance to challenge the Pusuo Heritage Tower, so don't end up regretting it later. As they listened to Song Xuanchang's teachings, nearly 20,000 alien creatures in the front also began to disperse freely. Following this, Song Kai and the other second batch of challengers simultaneously felt a powerful traction. The second round of challenges is about to begin. All registrants enter the tower and take your positions. Under Song Xuanchang's watchful eye, the escort ships carrying Song Kai and the 3 others took off simultaneously, joined by more than tens of thousands of other registrants. As the world spun around them, when everyone came to their senses, they were no longer outside the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Song Kai was highly focused, carefully observing his surroundings through the warship's projection screen in the radar map on one side. In this endless pitch-black starry sky, surprisingly, only the Kang Chong was present, without a trace of those creatures that had ascended with them. Virtual illusion space? It seems similar to our family's Immortal Puppet Tower. If that's the case, there's no need to be concerned about the rest. and we can confidently utilize all the capabilities of the Kang Chong, Song Kai mused as he made further battle plans for himself. While he was planning, Song Kai soon spotted shadows rapidly condensing in the starry space ahead. One by one, avian creatures of an alien species, each 100 meters in body length and with a wingspan exceeding 100 meters, quietly emerged until the appearance of the 10th creature marked a halt. 10 peak second-rank alien creatures from the stellar sea, Thinking that the Kang Chong was currently at second rank and his own guidance technique also at second rank, Song Kai felt this was normal. However, the combat power of the Kang Chong obviously couldn't be calculated so simply. Even without firing the LV-49 Pyongyang swordbeam cannon, the 10 peak second-rank alien eagles were torn apart in seconds under the fire of the 3 secondary cannons. Soon, a strong traction descended from above, and the scenery shifted before his eyes, letting Song Kai know that he had already arrived on the second level of the Pusuo Heritage Tower. It was still the same dark starry space as the first level, only this time the number of the peak second-rank alien eagles increased from 10 to 30. Tens of seconds later, these 30 alien eagles were also shredded by the fire from the Kang Chong, and it promptly reached the third level of the Heritage Tower with ease. However, Song Kai remained on alert. Song Xuanchong had mentioned this was to be expected. In fact, along with the Kang Chong, other challenging creatures could easily clear the first dozen or so levels. As to challenge the Pusuo Heritage Tower, one needed at least one orange-quality strange object. Under such prerequisites, any creature bold enough to take on the challenge of the Heritage Tower couldn't be ordinary. Obliterating creatures of the same rank was nothing out of the ordinary. According to the family head, while there is no fixed standard for the Pusuo Heritage Tower, basically to meet the minimum standard to pass, which is to obtain a reward of an orange-quality strange object, one needs to reach above the 50th level at least. Song Kai thought as he set a personal goal for himself to reach at least beyond the 60th level. With the combat power of Kang Chong, he still had considerable confidence in accomplishing this step. Continuing to accept challenges, Kang Chong quickly reached beyond the 10th floor. At this level, the original alien race hawks had been replaced with an even more formidable creature of the Rift Eagle, capable of ranking second on the Song family's genetic bloodline chart. However, its strength remained at second-rank peak and thus did not pose much of a threat to Kang Chong. After the 20th floor, the Rift Eagle was swapped out for the Flame Griffin, a creature that could qualify for the third tier on the Song family's genetic bloodline chart, signifying a species with impressive innate gifts and startling combat power. After the 30th floor, the Flame Griffin had not changed, but its strength had increased from second-rank peak to the entrance of third rank, with the number increasing to 3. Faced with this, Kang Chong still handled the situation with ease and quickly broke through to the 40th floor. At this level, the third-rank Flame Griffins transformed into bipedal flying dragons of the flying dragon species. Although their strength had reverted to second-rank peak and the number had returned to 10, Song Kai took the situation more seriously than before. These bipedal flying dragons, like the thorned flying dragons, were creatures at the third-tier peak on the Song family's genetic bloodline chart, and Song Kai was very clear about the combat power of the thorned flying dragons. By the 45th floor, the power of the bipedal flying dragons had risen to third rank, with the number being 2. By this point, Kang Chong could no longer remain completely unscathed. At the 47th floor, the number had risen to 6. On the 49th floor, facing Kang Chong were 5 bipedal flying dragons at third-rank peak level. In the end, Song Kai simultaneously summoned the Thorned Flying Dragon and the Cold Moon Snow Python, and together with the firepower of Kang Chong, he successfully ground down the 5 tough bipedal flying dragons. Upon being transported to the 50th floor, Song Kai let out a sigh of relief, his eyes narrowing and flashes of sharp light occasionally surfacing from the depths of his eyes. Now that he had secured the basics, each subsequent challenge on every floor would enhance the quality of the final reward. Let's see how far Kang Chong's peak combat power can truly reach. Orange oddities are not enough. Red, at least one red curio must be obtained. Roaring in his heart, Song Kai then hesitated no more and initiated the challenge of the 50th floor. The creature that appeared before Kang Chong this time was an alien race hawk at the half-step 4th rank level, its body surrounded by swirling mysterious cyan energy, declaring that it had begun to comprehend a thread of the law of wind. In response, Song Kai summoned 35 Void Assassin clan soldier figurines without any reservations. These 35 pseudo-4th rank Void Assassin clan soldier figurines, up against a creature that was just half-step 4th rank and under Song Chi's real-time command, ultimately succumbed to the Pure Yang Sword Beam Cannon. The foe on the 51st floor was a half-step 4th rank Rift Eagle, which Song Kai dispatched using the same method. The 52nd floor held a half-step 4th rank Flame Griffin. After pushing all the way to the 58th floor and defeating a half-step 4th rank bipedal Flying Dragon, Kang Chong was transported to the 59th floor, just one more victory away from potentially a significant upgrade in the rewards issued by the Heritage Tower. However, the creature standing in Song Chi's way this time was a starry sky behemoth that could rank in the 4th tier of the Song family's genetic bloodline. It was an Earth attribute starry sky behemoth at half-step 4th rank level, with astonishing innate gifts in the Earth attribute law. Although it did not place within the top 10 amongst its Earth attribute stellar sea creatures, it was certainly not something the previous bipedal flying dragons could compare with. This could be seen from the extremely dense Earth attribute law energies swirling around its body. Song Kai was certain that this half-step 4th rank gargantuan rock beast in front of him was the most profound practitioner of the power of laws he had ever encountered in his life. Of course, no matter what, it was only a half-step 4th rank lifeform after all. Against the Kang Chong, which already had numerous components enhanced to 4th rank, the threat was actually limited. Throughout the journey up to this point, the Kang Chong hadn't shown much of its strength. Before this, Song Kai hadn't even summoned the Void Demon, nor had he used the external cobalt-piercing shell launcher. Not to mention the mixed hollow extreme Yang Sword Intent Divine Light, a feature with a not-so-short cooldown time. There wasn't much to say about the Starry Sky Behemoth. Apart from having unique advantages over one or several kinds of power of laws, what they relied on the most was their exceedingly extraordinary vitality. So, Song Kai stayed on the 59th level for a long time, taking dozens of minutes to finally grind down the Rock Saha giant beast, without using his trump cards. As for the time consumed, Song Kai didn't mind. His thinking was simple. He wanted to keep the trump cards of the Kang Chong for the later stages as much as possible to achieve better results. On the 60th level, the guardian creature was 2 half-step 4th rank level Rock Saha giant beasts. It was here that Song Kai summoned the 4th rank Void Demon on the Kang Chong for the first time. The Void Demon, a master of the space law, naturally had no suspense when it made its move. On the 61st level, the guardian creature was 3 half-step 4th rank level Rock Saha giant beasts. Finally, on the 64th level, after nearly an hour of struggle, the Kang Chong successfully killed 6 half-step 4th rank level Rock Saha giant beasts. Upon reaching the 65th level, there was somewhat of a surprise, because this level didn't feature any half-step 4th rank stellar sea creatures. It was a world of flames, the terrifying heat warping the surrounding starry sky severely, and what Song Kai or rather the Kang Chong needed to do was to withstand this dreadful temperature and ascend towards the space above until reaching the 66th level. Definitely 4th rank level flames, has the 66th level already begun to touch on the domain of 4th rank? Song Kai quickly made a judgment. The energy level of the flames outside had certainly reached the 4th rank level. Though there was no intelligent life's active control, the threat of these 4th rank level flames greatly diminished, but for those ordinary, or even eminent creatures within the 2nd rank of the Starry Sea, these flames would pose a tremendous threat to their lives. However, for Song Kai, this was actually an easier challenge than facing those 6 Rock Saha giant beasts before. In such an environment, the Immortal Realm 5-element celestial energy shield would play its most significant role. The Neutron Star Core Pulse feature of the Neutron Star Core armor, coupled with the energy shield's 5 elements rotation, mutually reinforcing and overcoming feature, allowed the Immortal Realm 5-element celestial energy shield to maintain a balance between shield value loss and recovery in this formidable fire environment. Since the flames couldn't even affect the outermost layer of the energy shield, the 4th rank flames naturally couldn't cause any damage to the interior of the Kang Chong. Even as the Kang Chong continued to ascend and the intensity of the flames increased, the problem was still not significant. On the 66th level, it was the endless sharp force of metal cutting, which was also perfectly countered by the feature 5 elements rotation, mutually reinforcing and overcoming. Until the 69th level, the energy shields with the 5 elements attributes appeared one after another, and the Kang Chong unsurprisingly cleared up to the 69th level, stepping onto the 70th level. By the time he reached this 70th level, he had already achieved his initial expectations, and Song Kai estimated that he should at least obtain a red quality Starry Sea oddity as a reward. Recalling his spiritual focus, his attention returned to the challenge of the 70th level. The previous surge of energy had vanished entirely, and once again, stellar sea creatures resumed their role as guardians. The guardian creature of this 70th level was a gigantic exotic hawk with a body size over 3,000 meters and a wingspan close to 4,000 meters. From the concentrated solidity and quantity of the law of wind gathering around it, it appeared to be a 4th-rank creature that had just entered the rank not long ago and had not fully mastered the power of laws yet. Considering this, Song Kai focused all his attention. Even if it was a castrated version of a 4th-rank creature, its essential nature of life would not change, and facing such a level of creature with the current combat power of the Kang Chong required his full effort. Swipe, swipe, swipe. 35 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines charged out of the Kang Chong in succession, and under the control of 2 brainwave imprints, they split into 2 squads to continuously distract the 4th-rank exotic hawk around its body. Song Kai didn't expect these soldier figurines to cause much damage to the exotic hawk. He only needed them to attract some attention and alleviate some of the pressure that the Kang Chong would have to face. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The raging wind howled, and a hurricane with a diameter of 2,000 meters swept towards the Kang Chong as the exotic hawk spread its wings. Following this, the exotic hawk itself, wrapped in the thin law of wind, shot out, whirling around its body a dozen Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines that had no way to counter this. Here, the engine and thruster of the Kang Chong were operating at overload, easily dodging that formidable storm. At the same time, the 4 of the ship, the Pyongyang sword beam cannon, was rapidly charging. With the explosion of the level 49 orange main cannon, the nearly 2,000 meters long sword light phantasm collided with the incoming 4th-rank exotic hawk, leaving a wound several hundred meters long on the right wing of the hawk after a violent explosion. Squawk! The intense pain of being torn apart made the 4th-rank exotic hawk cry out, but it didn't stop flapping its wings. Instead, it mobilized even more of the law of wind to gather on its wings, its speed becoming even more astonishing. Yet even so, the distance between it and the Kang Chong had not shortened at all. Instead, it continued to grow. The level 49 red engine and level 40 purple thruster provided the Kang Chong with a thrust that was not just lip service. Utilizing its speed, Song Kai quickly devised a follow-up battle plan, opting not to clash head-on with the alien creature but rather to employ the Torch warship's best strategy, kite-flying tactics. The energy shield and warship armor were indeed the biggest advantages of the Kang Chong, but the alien creature was a physical being, and once it got close, it would inevitably cause damage to both the armor and the body of the Kang Chong. The Neutron Star Core armor could quickly repair itself through the Neutron Star Core Pulse feature, but the body of the warship would not. The only component on the Kang Chong that could repair the body was the nearly forgotten white quality, healing fruit, the effectiveness of which was hard to describe, so it was better to avoid damage where possible. Kite flying tactics had their merits, but they were time-consuming. Plus, after several continuous challenges of dozens of floors, Song Qi's spirit had long since left its peak state, falling into lethargy. Addressing this issue, after kiting the fourth-rank alien creature for several hours, Song Kai did not kill it outright but caused severe injuries and let the void demon slowly drag it out while he used the interval to recover his spirit as much as possible. However, the Pusuo Heritage Tower clearly wasn't about to let him get away with such a loophole. Barely half an hour had passed when, at the 5-hour mark, the alien creature ended its own life, and the Kang Chong was immediately transported to the 71st floor. After nearly half an hour of recovery, while far from his peak, Song Kai had at least shaken off his lethargic state and could fully confront the upcoming challenges. The guardian creature of the 71st floor was a newly 4th-rank sky-cracking eagle. Compared to the alien creature, the combat power of this eagle had improved a lot, and unlike the alien creature, the speed of this 4th-rank sky-cracking eagle, which controlled spatial power, was clearly faster, making its movements unpredictable and erratic. By the time it was finally killed, the Kang Chong's warship armor was, for the moment, not worth mentioning, as it was going to be fully repaired by the time they challenged the 72nd floor anyway, but the body had sustained 6% damage. This was the first time the Kang Chong had been damaged since it started challenging the Pusuo Heritage Tower. Not in a hurry to activate the Healing Fruit component, this white component currently had an enhancement level of 29. Once activated, it could repair 10% of the warship's body, and with the Kang Chong's body also being 2nd rank, it would fully unleash its effect, so naturally, Song Kai wanted to maximize its effectiveness. The 72nd floor held a newly 4th-rank Flame Lion Eagle, which wielded the power of laws of fire. Strictly speaking, its combat power was stronger than the previous sky-cracking eagle, yet under the protection of the Immortal Realm 5 Elements Celestial Energy Shield, the threat to the Kang Chong was significantly reduced. Taking advantage of this, Song Kai underwent another session of intense recovery for more than half an hour, before then proceeding all the way to the 73rd layer. What the Kang Chong faced this time was a newly 4th-rank bipedal dragon, which was killed after several hours, at a cost of 20% damage to the warship's body. Before heading to the 74th floor, Song Kai activated the Healing Fruit component, bringing the Kang Chong's body damage back down to 10%. On the 74th floor of the Pusuo Heritage Tower was a guardian creature known as a rock saw behemoth. Although it was newly 4th rank, the Starry Sky behemoths were different from other stellar sea creatures. They possessed astounding innate gifts in the aspects of the laws they were proficient in, meaning that even though it had just stepped into 4th rank, its understanding of the law of Earth was almost as strong as a normal 4th-rank unit. In other words, what Kang Chong faced at this moment was in fact a 4th-rank creature with normal combat power. For this, Song Kai was fully prepared. Hum. The light energy aggregation engine and phantom thruster were running at full capacity. As usual, Song Qi's first choice was the kite flying tactic. This rock saw behemoth was powerful in combat but slower in speed. If enough distance could be maintained, Song Kai could grind it down to death. However, Song Kai quickly discovered that despite the full operation of the two components providing thrust, the Kang Chong simply couldn't move. When he came to his senses, he was astounded to find that the rock sawa behemoth had mobilized a vast amount of the law of Earth, which had gathered around the Kang Chong's hull to form massive walls of rock and earth, severely impeding Kang Chong's mobility. Before Song Kai could respond, the rock sawa behemoth in front of him was already charging over. A great deal of the law of Earth was concentrated on the thick rocky double horns atop its head. It was imaginable that a head-on collision with these terrifying horns of rock and earth would result in monstrous damage. In the nick of time, Song Kai activated the Void Escape Orb component, and amid a strong spatial fluctuation, the 120-meter-long Kang Chong vanished quietly, only to reappear tens of millions of kilometers away. Deprived of its target, the rock sawa behemoth roared in anger and then once again charged toward the distant Kang Chong. Having finally escaped the attack range of the rock Sawa behemoth, Song Kai naturally did not allow it to draw near so easily, continuously maneuvering the Kang Chong to maintain the distance, while the main and secondary cannons on the warship fired in succession, bombarding the behemoth's massive body. The Cold Light Heavenly Frost cannon was responsible for slowing the rock Sawa behemoth, making its already clumsy body seem even more cumbersome. The Shadow Breaker cannon was in charge of weakening the heavy rock armor on the surface of the rock Sawa behemoth. The external armor-piercing cobalt shell launcher was responsible for further damaging the rock armor. As for the Pure Yang swordbeam cannon, it was in charge of the main firepower strike. After the combined armor penetration of the Shadow Breaker cannon and the special cobalt shells, the Pure Yang swordbeam cannon was now able to inflict substantial damage on the rock Sawa behemoth. Finally, under the third round of the mixed hollow extreme Yang sword intent divine light, the life of the rock Sawa behemoth was ultimately extinguished. Now at level 49, the active feature, mixed hollow extreme Yang sword intent divine light, of the Pure Yang swordbeam cannon had a cooldown time of 4 hours. In other words, it took more than 12 hours to kill the rock Sawa behemoth. Phew! With a long exhale, there was a deep weariness in Song Chi's eyes. 12 hours of intense concentration had severely depleted his spiritual force. However, it wasn't all bad news. After passing the 74th floor, Song Kai was informed he had 2 hours of rest time, which, though short, was enough to restore a significant portion of his spiritual force. 2 hours later, when Song Kai awoke from a deep sleep, his spiritual force had recovered to approximately 60%. Once he confirmed this, he activated the healing fruit component, now fully buffered, restoring Kang Chong's damaged hull from 42% to 32%, and rapidly reloaded 2 special cobalt bullets. After completing these preparations, Kang Chong was then transported to the 75th floor. The guardian creature of this level was a pair of rock Sawa behemoths, newly advanced to the 4th rank. Upon seeing this, Song Kai made a swift decision at the bottom of his heart. He must engage in rapid combat to make a quick decision, avoiding the kite-flying tactic used in the last round at all costs. Otherwise, his current peak state of only 60% spiritual force would definitely not last until the end. With that thought in mind, the hatch of the Kang Chong slowly opened, and Tuogu Hong and the Void Demon walked out of the warship one after the other. Ancient totem patterns covered their entire bodies, clearly having activated their totem true body forms, while in their hands they each held a silver-white ruins market walking token, having already activated the law enhancement state of the tokens. The end was still not in sight of the active feature, enslavement mark, frenzy, of the recently buffered enslavement medal was activated once again. Surrounding Tuogu Hong was a significant amount of red steam, and his size expanded from a kilometer to 3,000 meters, with the potent pressure of a 4th-rank lifeform emanating from within. As his body swelled, the Kingming sky-cracking spear he held in his hands also stretched to almost 3,500 meters, with streaks of cold light traversing along the spearhead.